And with that, I introduce to you Gaius Pontius Pilate, former governor of Judea.
Thank you. Thank you. Ballet citizens and friends of Rome, I think, should be. Where's my telephone? They said they'd have a telephone. No, all right, we'll go with plan B. Fine. What's the name of this place anyway? All right. Well, here we go. Come on, show me what you got here. They showed me how to awake the sleeping God in this this device, this strange thing. Oh, here we go. Oh, see, it's amazing. Here we go. Here we are. That's better. Okay. Well, greetings to you all. If you don't mind if I take a seat here. I am your servant, Gaius Pontius Pilatus. You can call me Pilate, that's fine, although you're not going to get me up into one of those crazy flying machines that I've seen. We'll have none of that. I was Caesar's prefect for 10 years in the region of Judea, in the province of Judea. Now, I'm here to explain a certain case that went down in Judea at that time. It had unexpectedly large ramifications, you might say. Who would have known at the time? I mean, we crucified people all the time. It's the price you pay for good order and decency among the people and peace. Historians will tell you that I was ham-fisted, that I was cruel, but let me tell you, I was the law and order man in a lawless and wild, wild country. Judea needed law and order. It wasn't 30 years after I was done, as a matter of fact, before that crazy group of people rebelled against Rome, brought the wrath of Rome down upon them, and the legions came through and destroyed that city that I had ruled with peace and order. Those who came after me were weak, let me tell you. Petty kings, prefects, sons and grandchildren of Herod the Great. Now, Herod the Great, that was a guy. I could admire a guy like that. You really should have more people like that. You Americans, I admire you too. You Americans incarcerate more people per capita than any other nation in the world. I'm proud of you. Rome salutes you. I don't know why you don't execute more of them. It would be much cheaper than having all those prisons. I don't understand. Well, I was sent to Judea to promote good order and discipline. Simple as that. And the first thing I did was wrestle up a rabble, a group of people, and crucify them on the highest hill I could find outside of every town in Judea. Nothing makes an impact like a good crucifixion. It's cheap, for one thing. And for another, it's the 3 P's that you're looking for. You're looking for painful, public, and prolonged. You want to make a statement, and you want everybody to understand what it is. It sends a powerful message, no mistake. No one rebelled on my watch, let me tell you. So one morning, this ugly crowd shows up outside my door. And they won't come in, mind you. No, God, no. They wouldn't come in. No, they'd get unclean or whatever, these people. They dragged up this poor fella, and they want me to crucify him. Sure, I'll crucify him, no problem. We don't even need a reason. Just make sure he's not connected to any families that are important so I don't offend anybody. Make sure he doesn't have any powerful friends. Make sure he's got a good set of lungs on him so he can scream and holler for a long time while he's up there to make the point, right? We'll get him right up. But I was set about to do it too. I was just about set. But something stopped me. For one thing, he was silent as a stone. He wouldn't say a word. And this crowd was livid. I couldn't understand. There's something going on. I was going to find out. So You can't trust these people's leaders. Let me tell you, I've been here long enough. You can't trust them. They're always up to something. What was his deal? What was he up to? What did he know that they didn't want me to know about? Maybe he's got something on him, something I can use. I don't mind the regular folks around here. Believe me, they're decent people. They work hard. They're honest people. But these religious leaders are a piece of work. They're always harping on the people, always telling them this is clean, this is unclean, always telling them these are the good guys, these are the bad guys, these are the people who are in, this is us, that's them, that's dirty, those are bad people, you got to stay away. They're always making these divisions. And these people put up with it, and they bear the price of it. They pay the taxes for it. I hate that. Rome is full of that. It's full of family ties. Who's in, who's out, who's got the connections, who's got the goods on the other people. I hate it. It's not fair. It's not right. So if I could poke these guys in the eye one time, boy, I tell you, I'd love to do that. Maybe this guy could help. So I'm dying to know about this fella. His name's Jesus, okay? I heard that. He won't say a word. Just some lip about how I didn't have any authority except somebody had given it to me. So the one who had handed him over has had the greater sin. What are you going to do with that? That's no help. The greater sin? I have no. What are you supposed to do? So I let my friends here soften him up a little bit, okay? But still, we got nothing out of him. I paraded him out to the crowd, thinking maybe he's got some friends who might offer up the goods on, offer up some dirt on these chief priests. But it's like this guy didn't have a friend in the world. No one stepped up. Just that ugly crowd. What can you do? So I made a big show, washing my hands, the whole deal. And I handed him over. And we all knew who had the power of life and death here, right? It wasn't those guys. It was me. I was here by Caesar's command. If anybody's going to go up on a cross, it's by my order. I was the one who sent them off. And you wouldn't. Oh, come on. You wouldn't have done it, right? Put yourself in my sandals, right? Judea is a province of Rome, right? Provinces make money for Rome, not the other way around. We had to keep legions stationed in Judea to keep the peace. More legions than any other province. Legions cost money. If I had my way, I would have crucified those chief priests along with this guy, just to make a point about people who raise up rabble and cause a commotion. But all we could find were these two poor luckless bums in the holding cell at the moment, so we rounded those up to round out, so we had 3. And that's all I know of it. Oh yeah, the same day, I remember this because it was odd, because it doesn't happen that often. Same day, somebody came and asked for the body of the guy, and I was kind of surprised, because usually crucifixion, right? Painful, public, and prolonged, right? They're supposed to stay up there for days. They're supposed to last up there to make an impression. Why do you go to all the trouble of doing it if they can't make a decent impression on people? One day. Turns out he died the same way. My friends maybe, I think, got a little carried away with him. It happens. It's all right. I think one of the things I remember asking him was this. He wouldn't say anything, but I said, he was talking about truth, and I said, well, what is truth, right? I mean, who knows? Is your truth any better than their truth, my truth, the truth that these chief priests were so on about, so worked up about? Is their truth any better than yours? I think of the truth back in Rome, the truth of the Vestal virgins in Rome. Right, yeah. Back in Rome, is their truth any better than, say, the temple prostitutes that are in Ephesus or in Corinth? Is that the truth? You better believe some people think so. All I know is what Caesar says is true is true. If you know Caesar, if you've got connections, that's all the truth you're ever going to need. If I had a bit more of that truth, believe me, I wouldn't be stuck here in this hole in Judea in the middle of nowhere, this corner of the empire, believe me. So, I'm going to level with you as far as truth is, right? It's never, ever what you know that matters. It's always who you know. It's always the connections you make, the people you know. It's the connections. If you don't have connections in Rome, you're a dead dog out here. You can't get anything done. And you're going to stay out here until you die on the vine. Without friends, you're powerless. You're alone. This poor guy, Jesus, who did he know? Where were his friends when he needed them? Maybe he might have fed the 5,000 back in Galilee, but when it came time that he needed people, he hadn't a friend in the world. It's not what you know, buddy. It's who you know that matters. That's the truth. I've thought about this. I think if I was that fellow, and I've been starting a new thing, maybe something that transcended the religion he'd been given, start with something. I would start with people. I would start with connections, making relationships with people. I'd get them in solid with each other. Get them to stick together through thick and thin. Helping each other, working together with each other. I don't know, maybe get together, maybe on their Sabbath day. They seem to really, really get a kick out of meeting on Sabbath day. Sabbath day, so you could listen to each other. You could love on each other. You could work together with each other. And I think of rituals. Maybe start a couple rituals that celebrate unity, celebrate friendship, celebrate being alone before and together now. Rituals that celebrate isolation becoming community, weakness becoming strength, brokenness becoming wholeness. That's what I do. I pick up rituals that celebrated that sort of thing. And always it would have to do with people helping, loving, working with other people. That's what I'd like to see. Because, I don't know if there's any God out there. I don't know if there's any gods out there. Everybody's got an opinion. How can you tell? You can't prove it. Can you say God is love? Sure, anybody can say that, but what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything unless the people who follow that God love in return. That's the only way you can prove it. If you get into trouble, you don't have to make sacrifices to some God somewhere. You don't have to make pilgrimage to some God out in the desert, some temple out in the middle of nowhere. All you have to do is let your people know that you're in trouble. You get by with the help of your friends. If this Jesus had had just a few friends in his time of need, things would have worked out different maybe. Say you believe in a God of love. What's love but friendship? What's love but relationship? Being there for somebody. Having your buddy's back when he needs you. Working together for something you both value. If you don't have that, what kind of God do you have? Not much by my way of thinking. Well, that's my take on it. What is truth? It's who you know. I hear this, Jesus actually said it one time. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, he said. It didn't seem that way to me, God knows. But, hey, I only saw him for that little bit. And he had bigger fish to fry on that day. You think you could have done better? You think you'd like to be in my shoes for a day? How well do you know this Jesus even now, huh? How well do you know him? Is he your friend? Do you know him really well? Do you share with him? Do you share him with other people so he can be friends with other people too? I'd like to think so. Does he have your back? Do you have his back? Do you feel that way about the people around you? It's not what you know. It's not what you know. It's who you know. That's what always matters. Now, if you excuse me, I got to go find this fellow. I've been recently resurrected, as you can tell. It's pretty good. I'm okay with this. It's all right. And I understand this guy. He's in charge, which is interesting. I hope he'll let bygones be bygones. I hear he's in the business of forgiving people, though. I hope he can forgive an old guy like me. Maybe. I don't know. I hear he does that. We might even be able to become friends. Thank you all for hearing us. Hail Caesar and Vale Christi. All right, let's go. Oh, sorry. Well, everyone.